Be a man of action, not reaction. Troy Hudkins, DZ Tribe, Josh Thomas. Today's solo, we're going to talk about an important topic, and it came from somebody that I don't really have much of a relationship with. We're in the same mastermind group, and we're friends, and so we kind of see each other's posts here and there. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing his name. His name is Arnie Giske. Pretty popular guy, pretty successful guy. He is a traveler. He loves to travel like myself. He likes to go around and find different places in the world to check out and learn and experience. And he's in a position to where he's able to do that because he owns multiple businesses and he has investments. And so Arnie one time was sharing this story about he was somewhere in Mexico, and he was on these kind of forums where there's backpackers and nomads and digital nomads and creators and people that just like to travel around a lot and not typically independently wealthy people. They're just kind of living on a budget for the most part. And he was sharing this story about how he was in the forum, and there were all these people in here asking him for advice on, well, where to find the best, cheapest apartment in this part of Mexico, less than $500 a month, preferably, et cetera, et cetera. And his comment back to them was, well, okay. So I gave him some recommendations, and I told him, hey, here's some places that you can look. Here's some people that you can talk to. And then he says, but I asked, well, why don't you just make more money and then you have more options? Like, why don't you just change your financial situation so that you don't have to worry about accepting the table scraps of whatever is left over and handed to you? And he shared in his that the response that he got from that was extremely negative. Like, oh, hey, must be nice. Not everybody is so lucky to be able to be wealthy like you are. And there was just a lot of real negativity towards that. Like, oh, well, money doesn't make the world go around. You shouldn't have to have money to go and live life and blah, blah, blah. And it was just really interesting to me, first of all, that he thought of that as a way to solve a problem. And secondly, that the reaction to that solution was so overwhelmingly negative, specifically by this crowd. I don't know if it would be negative by every crowd, but this particular crowd said, no thanks, man. Arnie, you crazy. But I didn't feel that way, though. I never really shared this with Arnie. But what I took from it was, nobody's ever said that to me. Nobody has ever presented that potential solution to me. Why don't you just make more money? And it kind of changed something inside of me. This was months ago, and I'm in an okay place financially, and I know how to make money and all of those things, but there have been decisions that I have avoided making because I'm not sure how it's going to turn out for me financially. And then there have been other decisions that I have made out of that insecurity as well, kind of on the other side. Like, I've avoided making some investments, and I've made other investments that are maybe non-monetary, maybe investments of my time or my energy that I could probably just pay somebody because, money's a limited resource. I don't know. And seeing that lesson, that thought from Arnie, it really changed me in that moment. And my best way of showing that appreciation is to make a podcast episode about it. Because here's the thing. Why don't you just make more money? It eliminates all of the fear that you have in your head right now about money. It eliminates all of the fear and uncertainty about, well, what if I make a mistake? What if I run out of money? What if this doesn't work? You know what? You can just go make more money. It's fine. And so in that situation, I have made some bolder purchases and some bolder investments and some things that I'm not really sure if this is going to work. But you know what? I can always just make more money. If this doesn't work out, I can go and make more money. It's fine. I'm going to make some investments, and there's a slightly higher risk profile to this investment that I'm going to make. But you know what? I can bet on myself, because if this doesn't work out, I know I can go and make more money. And that has opened up an entire world of opportunity for me that I never thought would be possible. I always knew it existed, but I never thought that I would be able to just take a step out of my own comfort zone and do the things that I wanted to do without fear of loss. Because that the money, I want to stay focused on the financial means here, but the money's not necessarily just money. Why don't you just make more opportunity? You could replace it with any word. Why don't you just make more time? Well, you can't technically make more time, but you understand what I mean. Why don't you just make more of the thing that you want or need so that you can do whatever the hell it is that you want? And so I wanted to share and pass down that lesson to you and give you a couple of examples that have worked for me. And so, number one, I made a couple of strategic investments over the past 12 months. Lots of money, lots more money than I would have ever thought that I would have parted with. I am traditionally a hoarder, and that is no different for cash. I will squirrel it away. I'm not going to tell you where I put it. It's not under my mattress or anything. But, I will squirrel it away in some place that I can maintain 100% control of it. And after reading this and after thinking about it, I realized, you know what? I need to put this money to work for me. And the reason that I haven't done that before is, well, what if it doesn't work? What if I lose my money? But I said, you know what? Screw this. I can always make more money. This investment is going to create an opportunity for me to grow my wealth. Arnie, by the way, is the co-founder of a group called the Insider Investors Club. And they are a group of entrepreneurs that get together and talk about making strategic investments and growing their wealth. And so it's only fitting that he's the one who actually taught me this, albeit a bit indirectly. So if you are interested in that group, I recommend that you reach out to Arnie Giske. He has not asked me for this endorsement. He doesn't even know I'm making this episode, although he probably will pretty soon. But making those strategic investments is something I never would have done before realizing that I can always bet on myself. And that's really what it's about. I can bet on myself. I always believe on myself that I can create a return on this investment. I joined Mastermind, 5-figure investment, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work. But what I was sure of is if I got in there and I counted on myself and I bet on myself, I was sure that I was going to pull out enough money to justify that expense. Something I never would have done in my life. I've now done it 3 or 4 times in the last year. Big major investments 3 or 4 times in the last year. All because somebody said, hey, well, look, you can make more money. And the big real lesson here is us as human beings, we limit ourselves so severely by the resources that are right in front of us at our fingertips. Well, this is all I'm ever going to get, so I have to hang on to it until it slips away. I've watched this time and time and time again. I have heard very smart people, very motivated and dedicated people who want to start businesses or grow businesses. And they have said asinine shit like, well, I can't really afford to do any advertising right now. And so I'm just going to kind of hunker down and wait this out. Hey, newsflash, it ain't going to get any better on the other side. It doesn't matter what the economy is doing. If you are of the mindset that, well, things are limited, things are scarce, I better hold on to what I've got, you're going to continuously shrink and shrink and shrink until you are hiding in a corner, holding your dirty fork out as your only defense against the world who has run completely over you. What you need to do is you need to stand up and you need to go out there and you need to do the thing that needs to be done, and you need to make more money, because if you don't take control of that, nobody will. And that's part of the mindset and the mentality that I want to really squash for anybody that's paying attention here. That, I don't know. I think, maybe in a couple of months when things clear up, I think I should be okay. Let me see what's going on first, and then I'll take a look. But the problem is, in a couple of months, things are only going to get worse. You're going to have less resources than you have now because you're not going out there and creating more. If you wait, it will be worse than it is now. You will have even less money for two reasons. Number one, even though you're not making any more money, you're still consuming money. You're consuming things, and money is your currency. Money is your form of exchange. And then number two, the time value of money. Money will be worth less in 6 months than it is right now. That has always been true. There's inflation. There's the time value of money is an actual kind of thing. Regretfully, when I start recording these episodes, I never actually know what I'm going to say, and so I don't look stuff up before, but you can look it up. The time value of money, it's a real thing. Basically, what that says is I would rather have $8,000 right now than $10,000 in 6 months, because $8,000 in my hand is worth more than the potential of $10,000 in 6 months, because there's no guarantee I'm actually going to get that. Okay, that's basically what it is, right? So that's two big, strong reasons right now that you will actually have less money over time than you do right now. You will never have as much money as you do right now unless you just go make more of it. And so if you're sitting there and you're on the fence and you're contemplating, well, should I make this decision or not? If that decision is about money only, just do it. Just go and do it. Spend the money. You won't regret it. You won't miss the money. Even if you made a mistake, you can count on yourself to go and make more money. Now, if the decision is related to, I'm not sure if it's going to work for me, or I'm not sure if this is a good fit, or these guys may be con artists, this may not actually be a diamond, then yeah, you don't want to make that purchase, okay? You don't want to make that kind of investment. Don't make bad investments. I'm not recommending that you do that. And this is not financial advice. But what I am saying is, if money creates fear in you, release yourself from the fear of money and just go make more of it. Because if you can make more of it, there's nothing to be afraid of. Now go do something.